Hey guys, it's Mark from Migraine Professional. In this video, we're going to be talking about the Tragus and Daith piercing curing migraines and headaches, and how there's been so many different reports of this kind of coming out and people finding massive relief from their migraines and headaches with these simple piercings in our ear. So, as we get started, really, we don't have the studies. We don't have the studies to say whether yes or no. A lot of people think it is just a placebo, it is just psychosomatic, but then a lot of people have found that it is incredibly helpful for them and it is doing it for them where other things did not. So, because there is no money behind the piercing, it's not a drug, it's not a medication, it's not patentable. Because there's no money behind it, we don't have the studies behind it. We don't have the information. We have reports from people who have found benefit from it, and then we have some surveys. There's one study that was just a single person study on a man that experienced great relief after his, but really it's basically been surveys and just people's reports. And that's kind of where we have to pull our information from. And in the article that I'm going to link to in the description, I go through a bunch of different reviews that people kind of talk about and how they actually experience great relief from their migraines with the Tragus or Daith piercing. Now, what we do know is that acupuncture and acupressure has been using these points and similar points for a very, very long time. And this kind of bridges that very materialistic left brain thinking where, oh, it can't possibly be doing anything. It's just a placebo because it's your ear. It has nothing to do with your brain. And then that whole body-based approach with acupuncture and acupressure, where we understand that the body is interconnected. That the body has a very, very deep interconnection, and traditional Chinese medicine has been kind of understanding this from an incredibly deep level for thousands of years, far, far longer than our Western medicine has even been in existence. So it has been using this understanding of the interconnection between our ears and our hands and our feet and our organs and our brain, and how those all result in our health or our sickness. And so acupuncture and acupressure, that's where we have kind of that understanding how it may be working. It is working on these meridians, these energy points, these ley lines in the body that are connected to whatever the problem is. So in acupuncture and acupressure, what they would do is they're treating the underlying cause. So if, for example, your migraines are caused by digestive problems, let's say you have lots of food sensitivities, you have digestive disorders, and that's triggering your migraines, they would then treat the points in your ear, the points in your body that connect to your digestive system. So they would help your digestive system, and then in essence, they're dealing with the cause, not the effect. Whereas the cause is whatever is creating dysfunction in the body, the effect is the symptoms that we end up experiencing, like our headaches, like our pains, like our inflammation. We always want to make sure we address the cause, and acupuncture and acupressure do it in that sense by addressing the systems that are disordered, that are contributing to that pain. Now, what the ear is connected to that we can kind of connect it with in our Western medicine model is the Arnold's nerve. Now, the Arnold's nerve that runs through the ear is connected to our vagus nerve. And we know vagal nerve stimulation has been used for epilepsy, has been used for depression, has been used for migraines. There's actually a FDA-approved device called the GammaCore, which is a vagal nerve stimulation device. And so it stimulates the vagus nerve. And this vagus nerve, I've talked about it in previous videos, it's this massive superhighway between our brain and our organs, and that communication between them, and how if we have digestive problems or if we have organ issues, that can easily translate into brain dysfunction. So really, the vagal nerve stimulation, vagus nerve stimulation is kind of a way we can think of getting those piercings. It's kind of stimulating that nerve, but it's much more complex than that. Especially if you go to an acupuncturist, it is much more complex than just the vagus nerve. And so whenever we're getting a piercing, whenever we're putting a hole in our body, there are concerns that we want to be aware of. And the biggest one is it not healing well. Now, some people really caution against Daith or Tragus piercings because they don't heal very well. So we always want to make sure that we are taking extra steps to ensure that the area is staying clean, that it's healing properly, and that we are eating nutrients and our body has the nutrition to heal quickly. Because oftentimes when our body's healing slowly is because we're not giving it, or it cannot absorb the nutrients it needs to heal faster. And then whenever we're putting metal into our body, we have to understand that we are in essence, we are electromagnetic beings. Our body and every single cell in our body is functioning off of electricity. Our whole nervous system is electrical function. We have a bunch of wires running through our body, and every single cell in our body is running off a low level of electricity. A very, very small amount, but it is running off of it. And so when you put metal into your body, it's turning that metal into an antenna for any sort of radiation or rays or electromagnetic fields in your airspace. Now, maybe 200 years ago, that wouldn't have been a problem, but today we are absolutely bombarded with rays. We have increased the amount of electromagnetic pollution by a trillion times. It's absolutely massive, the increase in electromagnetic field exposure. And so we really want to be careful, and we want to understand that there is a connection between our piercings and putting metal into our body and things like TMJ dysfunction, our temporomandibular joint dysfunction, jaw dysfunction, as well as putting piercings into our belly button, which is known to shut off the transverse abdominis, to shut off our inner core and our outer core, to create dysfunction within our organs. These are all very common. When we're putting all of these extra rays into our body, we have to remember our cells are functioning on a very, very small amount. And so when we start throwing in all this Wi-Fi and Bluetooth and all these things, it can create a lot of dysfunction. So better options are things like bone or stone or wood or porcelain. These natural materials, they don't conduct like metal does. They don't act like an antenna like metal does. And so of course, then the side that is most commonly pierced is the side that you have the pain on. So you have right-sided pain, you get a right-sided piercing, you have left-sided pain, you get a left-sided piercing. And for people, it will kind of depend. Some people will just do a Daith and find relief. Some people will just do a Tragus and find relief. Some people will have to do both a Tragus and a Daith on their pain side to find relief. Some people go ahead and get all four, two on each side, just because they have found so much relief from the ones that they've done. It's really we don't have the studies to kind of break down more specifics. Generally, you get if you get both on the pain side, then you'll kind of know if you're going to get, you likely won't get any more benefit from doing it on the non-pain side if you don't get any from the pain side, both Daith and Tragus. And of course, then we want to circle it all back and bring it all together. At the end of the day, as a system of healing, we want to address it like acupuncture does. We want to address the cause and not just deal with the effect. If we're chronically migraining, then yes, we have to deal with the effect. We have to just bring down that pain because it is so unbearable. But that is not going to get us completely out of it. That's not going to heal us in the long run. And we want to make sure that we deal with the cause as well. The underlying cause, there are many different underlying causes, whether it be neurological or digestive or mitochondrial or hormonal. There's a bunch of different factors at play. So you want to address what it is for you. You want to figure it out. You want to dig deeper. You want to get some tests done. Like we do at Migraine Professional, we never guess. We test, and then we use targeted protocols to support your body and help your body deal with the underlying causes. We don't deal with with any diseases. We just educate you on how to deal with the underlying cause. So I want to link to the full article in the description where I go into depth and kind of talk about the all of the reviews, or some of the reviews that migraine and headache sufferers have come forward with on their experience and the benefits that they've had with Tragus and Daith piercings. That's going to be in the description below. And let me know in the comments, have you had one of these piercings done? Did it help you? Did it help your migraines or headaches, or did it make them worse? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks. Hey, it's Mark from migraineprofessional.com. Thank you for watching this video. Make sure to subscribe in the bottom left corner, and if you want to learn more about migraines and headaches than you've ever known before, and understand what causes them, what creates them, and what you can do about them, make sure to go to migraineprofessional.com. Thanks.